The Cultural Society of Lethbridge and District and their friends gathered here at City Hall to dedicate a monument, not to impose modern values on our forebears. But after all, it did take a war, seeing Chinese immigrants fighting alongside other Canadian soldiers to end an era of ignorance. The Chinese Immigration Act of 1885, also known as an Act to Restrict and Regulate Chinese Immigration into Canada, allowed the Canadian government to impose a head tax on each Chinese immigrant. Later, the Chinese Immigration Act of 1923, also known as the Exclusion Act, with its harsh restrictive provisions, prohibited a Chinese man from bringing his family to Canada. Now, at Lethbridge City Hall, there stands a monument that remembers those dark days and celebrates their end.
We're recognizing the important role that the Chinese Canadians played in the history of Western Alberta and Lethbridge in particular. You know, there were many years when the Chinese population, they weren't accepted as full citizens of this country. There were laws preventing them to bring their families to Canada. Nevertheless, they played an important role in building the railway. They served valiantly in the war, and they became important members of the business community in this community. And that community has grown and thrived, and we're just delighted to be able to celebrate their success.
The monument say thanks to the past Chinese in Canada, and they were so hard for this country.
And fortunately, we've moved well beyond that, and the Chinese Canadian population is very proud of the roots and very proud of the accomplishments of their children and their grandchildren. And I think it's a commitment of this city council to develop an inclusive community, one that welcomes people from all cultures and all ethnic backgrounds into one community. And this is what today's all about.
2002 is the year of the horse, of course, and one special
The ceremony was held outside City Hall earlier to present the Chinese monument of commemoration. Local politicians, Lethbridge Chinese Cultural Society members, and the Chinese Consulate General were present at the ribbon cutting and unveiling of a new plaque. There's also a photo display inside the City Hall featuring various Chinese pictures. The display is available for public viewing until May the 1st. Local Chinese people are very happy with the monument that honors their ancestors.
Today is a very happy day for Chinese people because we finally see on the City Hall ground that there is a monument
on the east side of City Hall. The plaque commemorates Southern Alberta's Chinese pioneers. Later, everyone was invited into the foyer to view the World Heritage in China photo display. Mayor Bob Tarlick says Chinese Canadians have played an important role in shaping our community, but unfortunately, that contribution has not always been recognized.
Unfortunately, there was a period in our history when they were not welcomed. There were several acts that limited Chinese immigration and some that were clearly discriminatory. But fortunately, the Chinese Canadian population, they persevered and they thrived in this community and other communities in Canada, and they've become an incredibly important part of our cultural